we watched this movie once, like a week ago, and then we knew we were going to talk about it for the podcast, and we were like, oh, maybe we should just watch it again. And we did. And it was great. And you know what? Wasn't bored
Nope.
once.
Nope.
Still found new things.
I mean, honestly, that's the story of my life. It's like, oh, I just watched this last week. All right, I can watch it again. That's fine. No problem.
It's so good. It's so good.
But yeah, so I mean, we talked about the sword fighting scene. It's almost hard to pick. That is my favorite scene. I think it's yours too.
Oh, yeah.
But even still, it's just so hard to pick out a favorite scene in this movie because there are so many scenes that are great.
Yeah.
And they just strike you as great at different times. Like every time I watch this, there's something that I like better than I liked it before.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in the fire swamp, that scene is crazy. When I was a little kid, I used to try to hold my breath as long as Buttercup had to.
Oh, wow.
When she goes into the lightning sand.
Okay.
So she falls into it. I think that I used to be able to hold my breath as long as Wesley has to hold his.
Wow.
But now, too old, can't do it.
Well, that whole scene and the fire swamp, I mean, the rodents of unusual
oh gosh,
size.
They're so gross.
Yeah, I mean, that is... It's like, I don't think that the rodents of unusual size are real, and then like the one
immediately it attacks them.
And it's funny. It's like, so that you get that beat right there, and you laugh, and then this rodent is like fierce and chews him up.
I know, it's terrifying. I mean, that's really the thing that like breaks them in the fire swamp.
Yeah.
You know, yes, they catch on fire. Yes, they fall into the lightning sand. But, you know, just when they think they figured it out, here comes the rodent of unusual size and really, really attacks Wesley and bites the heck out of him.
Well, it goes from being funny to being frightening.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, is he actually going to take this rodent, or is the rodent going to take him?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of suspense there. I mean, obviously, I've seen this movie like 3 billion times now, so no, I know what's going to happen. But it still is there. You know, that's the adventure element that this really still has.
And but there are many, right?
Yeah.
Is it, I know it's ROUS. Is it rodents of unusual size or just rodent of unusual size?
Well, that particular one is just a rodent, but there are rodents of unusual size within the fire swamp. So there could have been multiple.
Oh,
while he's fighting that one, another one could have showed up.
Oh, man.
So
that would have been
bad.
I don't know if he could have made it out of that one.
Well, and there's a dramatic irony because we, as viewers, have already seen a rodent of unusual size when they were in the lightning sand.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get out of the sand, Wesley says, "Oh, we're almost out of here. You know, we know how the fire works. We know how the lightning sand works. We can avoid those." And then Buttercup says, "But what about the rodents of unusual size?" He's like, "Oh, I don't think they exist." Well, we know they do because we've already seen one stumbling around.
Yeah.
And we know what could happen if they run into it. And then, immediately it shows up. So
I thought that the one that showed up when they were in the sand, in the lightning sand, was the same one.
I think it is.
Attacked Wesley.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
Too.